The areas covered in this video are displayed in the slide as shown, and this is the final of the bite-sized videos of Computer Essentials, and we do hope you enjoyed this final one.
Some little key bits on accessibility. So accessibility is easy use of Windows 10. So you've got a few key strong options. You've got a magnifier, which features, which if I was doing it a face-to-face in a classroom basis, this demonstration, I'd be using the magnifier to enlarge the text so that you can see it. On-screen keyboard, which is really handy. So if you haven't got a keyboard available and you want to click by using the mouse, you also have the narrator. This is the screen reader, which reads aloud any text that appears on the screen. So that comes by if you need anything typed, and it will read what is being spoken, what's been typed in. You've got the high contrast and also closing captions as well, particularly for audio text. So individuals that have difficulty hearing subtitles and movies played, they'll provide subtitles for that point too. Also got health and safety, so we are aware that all electronic devices are quite hazardous, so ensuring that all overloaded power sockets are kept to a minimum, so keep any plugs that are connected to one or two. Cables that are trailing, any cables that are overhead, or any equipment handling, make sure that it's done the proper and correct way. But also with ICT, keep in mind, particularly in your test, that you may also be asked about breathing problems and ventilation. So ICT devices should always be kept in a cool location so that the system doesn't overheat, which if it does overheat, it may cause issues like fire hazards, and also distribute out some unhealthy fumes as well. So some of these things to keep in mind in your test, some of the questions that may come up, just that you're aware that you know the correct answers. But just going back through these slides, you've still got them available to you on all the two. So in your test, it may ask you some particular questions about your workspace environment when using ICT devices. So just ensure that you obviously regularly take breaks for your computer. It's recommended that 1 or 2 minutes every hour. Obviously looking away from the screen regularly, remember to blink often. Just 4 things, particularly as well, do not sit with a poor posture. That may come up in your test, so obviously your correct posture and your length distance between 50 centimeters and 80 centimeters between yourself and the computer monitor. Keep an eye on some of those things that may come up in your test, particularly the distance between yourself and the monitor, between 50 and 80 centimeters. And then finally, we've got the green computing, which is the name given. So we want to make sure that we keep in green when we're using ICT devices. Quite difficult because we have computer servers that are running all the time. Pretty much any ideas? The main thing, if looking at it from the test point of view, if you are asked what would be best things to ensure that we're being quite green with computer, is place the computer on standby mode when you're not using it because it uses less power. But also just turning the computer off completely after a period of inactivity. If it's not a network computer and you don't need to access to it from a different location, there's no need for it to be on. But you can also change some of the settings to go into sleep mode by going to your settings, and you can also go to the category power and sleep, and that'll allow you to change the timings of when, if it's not being used for a while, you could go and put the computer to sleep, say after about 10 minutes or 20 minutes, depending on what your preferences are. And that finishes this video. So that's the end of the Computer Essentials syllabus going through. Thanks very much.